Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers, and sisters. This is another episode of KK's Gaming History. Done slightly differently because I am being joined by my good old friend who I've done content with before. We did the Terrible Twos together. It's my good old friend Seiki.
Hello.
How are you? Hello. I am very well. Right. For those that are not completely blind, you will see it's Streets of Rage 2 that we are going to try. Now, I wasn't a Megadrive boffin. Mr. Seiki was. Way back in the day. 1992. We were but 12 in that particular year. And
mentally, we still are.
Oh, yes, and proud of it. So, I did play a lot of Streets of Rage 2. More Streets of Rage 1, actually, on friends' consoles. But me and Seiki have been bouncing around as this kind of idea for ages, and now that I've kind of nicked the gaming idea, the gaming history idea from Seiki in the first place, it seemed only fair that we did this thing.
Wasn't going to say a word.
Oh, I knew you when I was going to do it for you. Now we are using an emulator suite that I haven't used before, RetroArch, which Seiki has pointed me to. So we've done some testing off air, and so far so good.
To be fair, this is the first of, like, I started using it today as well, so this could all go a bit Pete-tongue very quickly.
Yeah. Demo, stop, cease. Who's player one, actually? Oh, you are. You are.
I think, yeah, I'm hosting, so
Yeah.
I should be playing. That's
That was
That's
wrong.
not going to work.
No, it's going well, very well.
It's going well. And I don't think there's any way to reset this. Oh, there we go, reset.
Oh, there we go.
Found it.
Awesome.
Yes, I'm ruining his
Professional.
video already. He stole my idea. I'll ruin his video. Right, come on, let's do this properly. Two player. Okay, so
Yeah,
I am do a little bit. So you'll hear from me.
Wow, I need to turn. Hopefully, this won't bin out. I need to turn that back down again. There was something we did notice that RetroArch is deafeningly loud.
Yeah, well, I found that with most emulators. So,
That's paused again. Yeah, that's me.
yeah. So Streets of Rage 2. How do I say this? It was so much better than Streets of Rage 1, it's not even funny.
Yeah. Streets of Rage 1 was good. Streets of
Yes.
Rage 2 was king.
Now, back in the day, obviously, the SNES got Final Fight, which, if you have ever seen the arcade, was a fantastic brawler. Oops, sorry. Very similar to this, but obviously it was Capcom's property, and they ported that onto the SNES. Now, the problem with the SNES port was that it couldn't actually support the amount of sprites that the arcade version had. And I'm not very good at talking and trying to beat people up at the same time. It couldn't support the same amount of sprites, so the amount of enemies on screen at one time was a lot lower than the arcade version. What Sega did was they made the sprites a lot smaller and a lot less complicated, but they could have more on screen at once, which it was their plan to make Streets of Rage more appealing with having more enemies on them.
Did you jump backwards?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, we had the same. Oh, I found.
Oh, you mean jump backwards like at Rubber Bandit?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant jump backwards.
Oh, no.
No, it didn't Rubber Band for me.
Oh, just leave it.
So yeah, they had these bigger sprites to try and make it more enemies on screen, try and make it more appealing. And then with Streets of Rage 2, they managed to push that even further. And the quality of the sprites as well as the amount on screen, it was just a massive leap from Streets of Rage 1.
And Sega was very good at making very good games.
Yes.
They, like any other console, had some absolute dross, but... Oh, okay, I teleported and somehow grabbed you.
Ooh.
Not perfect, as you can see, but let's face it, it's an emulator running over the net.
And being hosted by probably the person with the worst internet connection in the world.
Seiki Blessing doesn't have the... he has King Potato internet.
Oh, for crying out loud. Yeah, my internet is very poor, but my PC is actually slightly better than KK, so
Oh, considerably.
it kind of makes sense for me to host.
I can't imagine this is particularly taxing.
If you haven't seen my CPU usage,
Really?
my
it bad?
AMD K62 processor is massively being strained by this. A Core i5 is absolutely fine, but my K62 is not coping.
I've rubber banded there again.
Yeah, that'll be my broadband.
I
My
mean,
wife
it's-
may well be on her iPad playing games. That could be giving us problems.
But I mean, it's playable. It's certainly playable.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, the thing with these games are obviously they were never designed to be played like this. They were designed to be played on a sofa next to each other. But that's not always possible, especially for us guys in our late 30s who have families and stuff. So,
Yeah, and plus we are about 450 miles apart.
yeah, and we are pretty much at the opposite end of the country to each other. Mate, you need to grab that chicken just before I bin this guy. I'm gonna comment on it. One thing about Megadrive games, they always had fantastic music. Even though the SNES had a much better music audio chip, and it really did. Just the actual music in the Sega games was fantastic.
But it's also worth bearing in mind that the age-old Sega versus Nintendo playground arguments probably still roll on. But what a lot of people forget, and I'm a SNES fanboy. I was always very much in Nintendo's camp. The SNES is 2 years younger, so it should have been a much better console.
Grab the apple. Yeah.
And it was, but the Mega Drive did have a huge advance. Right, so
The problem with the Mega Drive was Sega tried to do too much with it in the end. There was absolutely no need for the Mega CD. As much as it had some good titles on it, they should have just at that point stopped the development of Mega Drive or given it a couple more years and then just gone straight to the Saturn. They
made a lot of bad decisions.
Yeah, the Sega CD and then the 32X, otherwise known as the Mushroom, basically completely unnecessary add-on to it. And I'm sorry, trying to run Doom on a Mega Drive is just a crazy idea.
It did get ported to the SNES though.
It did. Well, it got ported to 32X.
It didn't do well on the SNES. I don't.
I'd like to use Circle Strafe on a pad that's only got 2 axes.
Yeah, good luck with that.
To be quite frank, back then when I was playing Doom on my PC, I was still in the camp of I used keys. I didn't even realise the mouse was a viable option at that point.
I never owned a PC back then, so
PC baby.
Yeah, I didn't get initiated into the PC camp until probably 96, 97 probably.
So you weren't that far behind me. We had our first PC. We had our family's first PC in '95, and I got my own PC in '97.
You're not too far.
So nice. That was really quick. I'm surprised.
It was.
This is how bad it is. I can still tell you the spec of my very first PC.
That doesn't surprise me with you. It really doesn't.
Oh.
I remember my very first household PC was a Windows 3.11 machine.
Yeah,
God,
so was
what
ours.
was it?
My parents' first PC was actually more powerful than my first PC, even though I got mine after theirs. So our first PC was a 486 25, I think.
My dad had a 486 DX2.
Yes, it was probably a 486 DX2
There was a 2S.
Oh god, now I'm trying to remember. I never really remembered.
Whilst being beaten up by various guys.
Yeah. I never really paid attention to my parents' PC. It was always mine. So I paid attention to. Gotcha.
Nice. I used to when me and a mutual friend of ours used to play this. I used to do this on the keyboard. Not very successfully either. I'm not being very successful with this guy either.
There you go.
Nearly walked right into that. Yeah, I used to have like the arrow keys and like ASD bound as ADT.
Yeah.
But of course, that essentially is backwards to how the pad should normally do.
Yeah. Well, when I used to play this on the Megadrive, I actually had what was down as the arcade power. Oh god, you needed that. Sorry, mate. The arcade power stick. So it's basically an miniature plasticky version of an arcade joystick.
Yeah.
So I didn't actually use the control pad all that much. I literally knocked that guy off that bike with my ass.
Catch.
We're probably not going to get to it in this video, but one of my favorite, actually just talking about this game basically, one of my favorite pieces of music in the game, favorite piece of music in a game ever is the closing theme to this game.
Oh, would never get into it.
I can't remember what it's called, but it's just this fantastic piece of music. And because I have this beautiful talent of not being able to sing at all, I'm not even going to attempt to sing it. Jesus, save some for me, mate.
Look at the scores. Don't think you have too much to worry about.
Oi, where'd my pipe go? Was that the one-up, or was that the...
Ow.
That was what I meant to do. The severe irony of this is I'm actually currently playing this on the SNES pad.
Yeah, we did 2 test runs before we started doing this recording. One of this, but we were using a different emulator, and then we switched over to this one to try SNES game now, which of course we use Mario Kart because what else?
Yeah. Chrono Trigger.
Not the multiplayer.
No, Secret Mana. For some reason I get those two mixed up when it comes to I played them both around the same time, so
wasn't one a spiritual successor to the other?
Probably. Oh, I hate this part.
Oh, I'm not.
Dude, get your chicken.
Secret of Mana was fabulous.
It was. Nice.
Oh,
sorry.
No, good catch.
Secret Mana was fantastic.
Yeah, that's another game I loved a long time too. That worked well. I keep rubber banding a bit.
Oh, so
There's nothing you can do about it.
I can need to stop pressing down when I'm trying to fly and kick. See, like that.
No, not used.
There we go, that's what I'm trying to do. Or I could do that.
Ow.
But I don't have a lot of health left, so special attacks. Because back in these games, if you used your special attack, it actually costs you health.
Yes, it did.
Basically, just the mechanics stop you spamming your special attack constantly. Nice kick. Nice. Well done.
Size 12 to that face. When was the last time we played this?
Actually, I think it was at a LAN party. About
Yeah, that's
8 or 9 years ago.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, I mean, like you were saying before, Sega made a lot of games, but it was really good at its brawlers because it also had Golden Axe, and the Golden Axe series is fantastic.
Much earlier time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I remember that being on the Master System, which I did have.
Golden Axe as well was an arcade title.
It was big.
Whereas this never, as far as I'm aware anyway, this never came out in the arcade.
I can't say I remember there being a cabinet of this.
Which bear. And another little anecdote for you there: the machines say bare knuckle, and this game in Japan was called bare knuckle.
It was for reasons I don't know why. Weird licensing caveat, perhaps, or lost in translation. Now there has been, and I have played quite a lot of Streets of Rage remake. I'm not 100% sure if it's still available.
No, I think they got cease and desist with it.
They did, but the site existed for quite some time after the cease and desist was served.
Well, it existed on the internet. There will be a copy of it somewhere.
Yeah. And it was brilliant. It was such a great remake. It wasn't
didn't have like netplay though, did it?
No, much. It was such a shame that it didn't. It wasn't just Streets of Rage tarted up in a better engine. Yeah, the music was completely redone, and there were actual different versions essentially of Streets of Rage within the same program.
Going off on a tangent from that, have you played Sonic Mania? That's a tangent, never. No. Have you played Sonic Mania?
No. Oh.
It's basically it's a 2D Sonic the Hedgehog game. How did I miss that? 2D Sonic the Hedgehog game, but it's remakes of the original levels.
Oh right.
So like the first area is Green Hill Zone, and the first half of the first level is Green Hill Zone Act 1.
Nice.
But then you get further on, it's like the level's a lot longer. And it has like new stuff in it, and it has some really. It's made by fans, from what I understand. Or well, I say fans. It was like obviously the development team, and they played Sonic growing up.
Yeah,
but some of the bosses are just weird, like really, really weird.
I still remember when the Master System was at its peak. The Megadrive was then released. I still remember the first time I got my rubbing in the balls on Navy. And it was just like...
Can I have the one up?
Oh, I hope so. I hate these guys.
Well, it turned out a guy that I was friends with back in the day, another kid that lived in my street. Ow! Another kid that lived in my street had a Master System, and I got a Megadrive, and funnily enough, we'd fallen out for a bit, and we started talking again. It's like, oh, I've got a Master, I've got a Megadrive. I had the Master System converter from a Megadrive, so I could play Master games on the console, and we used to swap games, and he had a game that I ended up getting myself. I don't know if you ever played it. We had it called Aerial Assault.
It rings a bell, but I don't remember it.
It's basically think R-Type, but yeah, I'm trying to R-Type, but with a plane.
R-Type with a what?
It's basically the same style game as R-Type, but you're flying a jet fighter instead of. It was really, really good.
Oh, I hit you.
Yeah, it's
okay.
You've got a slither of health.
Slightly bigger slither.
But yeah, Aerial Assault was a fantastic game. We're just going to play this whole thing, aren't we?
Not in one recording, but you and I might actually play it through. I don't want to know what was in those eggs to make them explode.
Bottled up farts. Hold on, there was that sword. They did actually make a Street Rage 3, but
They did, it was awful.
Also, I don't think it was that bad. It wasn't as good as this, but I didn't think it was that bad.
I wasn't a fan. But then I was well and truly into the snares.
But to be honest, I wasn't. This is going to be sacrilege considering it was a Megadrive owner. I was not a fan of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 as much as I was here with Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay.
They overcomplicated it. They didn't need to add all the additional stuff. I mean, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, they went crazy. Oh, I hate this thing.
But Chemical Plant was the best Sonic music ever.
Oh, music-wise, yeah, I will not argue that. Come on. Come on, Slinky.
It's the weirdest club in the world.
It's not a club, it's supposed to be a fairground ride.
Oh, was it?
Ow. Yeah. There we go.
Ladies' genitals.
Annoying.
That's what that looks like. We've lost safety now. Come back, I need you to scroll.
That's true.
Oh, we both died at the same time.
Good time, because this guy's a pain in the backside.
Yes, he is. Can't believe I actually managed to grab him. Oh,
Twice?
yeah.
I was about to say, do you know the trick to land on your feet if you float?
Yeah.
Apparently, yes, you do.
Okay.
Run. If you have seen our terrible twos, you will know that I am rather prone for naughty language. I am doing my best not to swear on this video for him.
Hoorah.
Shall we continue?
Yes, we're not at the end of the recording yet. I am keeping an eye on the timer, so I know how far we have got.
I'm not. I'm keeping an eye on beating the
Oh, yeah. I could sit and talk about Megadrive games for hours. But going back to something Keiki said at the very start of the video, that he stole this idea from me. I had an idea for a video series called Looking Back, where I was going to go over some old games that I used to love as a kid. And the first game I always wanted to do, and I'm going to bring it up because it's still one of my favourite Megadrive games of all time, is Desert Strike. Oh, yes.
Desert Strike was such a good... Again, the music in Desert Strike is just amazing.
There wasn't a lot of music in
Desert Strike. There didn't need to be that opening theme was amazing. And then for some reason, unbeknown to anybody except for Electronic Arts themselves, they decided to change it for the PC version.
Really?
Yeah, the music in the PC version is awful.
No. It's so iconic.
I know, and I don't know why they changed it. Hadouken yourself.
Hey, I brought my stick. Oh, God.
That's what you get for putting your stick out in public.
Easy daring.
Stop. I will try and get the knife.
Ow.
Oh, sorry. You know what they took out in Street Rage 1, Street Rage 3? You could actually do combo attacks where you could actually throw your teammate.
Oh, they did with that, yeah. So if one of you grabbed the other from the back, and the one that was grabbed hit kick, you would kick.
Yeah. No, I think you can still do that, but it was literally if I grabbed you and like did the like. So when I grabbed you, the back and attack, you could actually fly into the air, and if you had attack in the air, you could actually do a combo attack.
Yeah. They took that out.
It's in 1, it's in 3, but it's not in 2.
Note for the viewers, particularly of the younger generations, you have to bear in mind that these were in cartridge form. The internet didn't exist, literally didn't exist. Not just bad or slow, it wasn't there. So it's not like they could patch games and add elements. DLC was another cartridge.
Sorry, go on.
No, absolutely.
I was going to say that's where I think it's Miyamoto's. If I'm misquoting him, I'd feel terrible. But I think it's Miyamoto's comment of a game that. Oh God, I'm going to get this quote completely wrong now. Basically, paraphrasing, that a good game that takes too long to come out is still a good game, but a bad game is a bad game forever.
Yeah.
Back then you can change things, whereas now obviously it's like. Oh, what? That's
different world now.
That's bad. We'll just patch it.
Yeah.
In fact, I was listening to a podcast, and it was actually. Am I allowed to name drop on this, even though they've got absolutely nothing to do with us? Listening to Cooperational Podcast, and Total Biscuit actually said something about the fact that there's no such thing as like just a bad game these days, because something can have a bad launch. And then a year later, it can kind of like release do a content release, and actually fix so much it's a good game now. It's basically like a second launch for a game.
Yeah, essentially. Oh, I'm hitting you.
Yeah.
Whoops. This is going well.
You flattened me with the fat guy.
Yeah, it's difficult to read about Total Biscuit's health condition these days.
Oh yeah. That's yeah. We wish him all the best.
Oh, completely.
On that. Sorry, I've been joined by a cat.
Oh, my cat's shut out of the room. At least I assume he is. He's done it before, but I've assumed he's not been in here. He's emerged whilst I'm mid-commenting.
It's a good thing you're cute, Kate, here. You'd be getting in the way.
Oh, death by slap. Oh. I actually completely lost track of where I was.
You're right in the way of my whatever. I've never worked out in Streets Rage 3 when he does that. He actually says very clearly bare knuckles. But in this, I always thought it sounded like it said grand upper.
Yeah, we've had that discussion before. I seem to remember. I always thought he.
Come on.
We'll leave it to the comments to decide.
Yes.
Ow.
Please tell us what Axel is supposed to be saying when he does that sliding uppercut.
Oh, it's the Ultimate Warrior knockoff now. Yeah, that's sorry, my age.
Oh. The Ultimate Warrior. The man whose promos nobody in there. Oh my. That just took what half my health in one hit. No point. I'm just gonna stand here and let you do all the work. On you go, man.
I wouldn't.
Oh, I didn't mean to eat that. I managed to eat the entire chicken in one. It's got 2 bars. I am out of practice. Nice avoidance.
Ah, take the chicken. Take the chicken.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. What? Am I allowed to swear on this, or would you rather kept it clean?
You're going to do it eventually anyway.
That was bullshit.
Break out of that, then, you bastard.
There we go. We will now stop.
Yeah, for my commentating, I keep it PG, but for added guests, there's an element of they're outside of my control. So yeah, I've done enough wacky races where my where my attendees have swarmed like hell. So what can I say?
That's true. I just don't try not to swear as much as I do when I'm playing Rocket League. That just is that I can't help myself. I haven't played Rocket League in ages.
No, I haven't. I only really play Rocket League with you. Concentration.
Stab him in the face.
Ah, Lisa, stop it.
She's probably asleep by now, so I doubt it's Lisa.
Alright. For the viewers, Lisa is Saki's wife.
Yes.
Like I say, it is only occasional. Just suddenly, it's more the enemies move, or the enemies and you. I'm sure on your screen, I just magically appear somewhere else.
No, you don't move at all. That's fine.
Oh, I just stand still.
Yeah. That guy really just cut down the jalapenos on.
Yeah. That's halitosis gone horrible.
Right. So I'm very sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm going to have to do this because my cat is begging to get out. So 2 seconds.
That's actually a good time to end the recording here. So that has been Streets of Rage for the KK Gaming History series. Thank you very much. Like, subscribe, comment, and all the good stuff. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.